Oh, what's going on, everybody? It is not CP in your ears. It is me, JD Raider. No CP today because he is already in Paris. Andrew Spade to my left, John Kozak to my left. We got confirmation this morning that the boys have landed in Paris.
They're in Paris.
Yes, which means the Olympics, for us, they've been going on for a while, but for us, are right around the corner. I, for one, could not be more excited.
Yeah, it's finally here. This was actually the shortest we've ever had to wait between Olympics because they pushed Tokyo back a year. So we're kind of spoiled in this last 3 years. 2 Olympics, just a 3-year span. Not bad.
How do we feel about the Olympics being every 4 years? Is it a good time? Like, would you rather have 2? You can't go every year.
I would have,
it's just World Championship.
I would have 4 a year.
4 a year?
Yeah, I wouldn't even just go 1 a year.
Don't think that takes away some of the prestige of the Olympics?
Well, I would like wrestling to be at a place where we don't think it's preposterous that they have the same number of major events as, say, golf or tennis, 2 inferior sports.
Well, yeah, but do you wish then it was something other than the
Olympics? The Olympics are fun, but that should stay once every 4 years, just the way tennis and golf participate. And it's like, whatever, it's a fun little celebration, and we don't put that as the maximum.
The pinnacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally different. I mean, I think you're more just asking, like, wouldn't it be cool if the Olympics were like every 2 years?
Yeah.
Or maybe every year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, they have the Winter Olympics to alternate. It's not the same.
Who cares about the Winter Olympics?
I don't mind the 4-year thing for being like a special occasion, a quadrennial.
It does seem long just because if an athlete gets injured or something, like, you could legitimately only have one shot.
You only got one shot.
So, like, that's where it kind of sucks, but it is kind of cool, and I feel like it makes it more prestigious that it is only every 4 years instead of a...
Yeah. Maybe you could make it every 3, and that would be fine. I think 4, the rounder numbers, more even numbers, I think, maybe. I don't know. Plus, you got, like, when you think internationally, what is the Olympics, like, what's their real competition? I think probably the World Cup is really the only thing that would steal its thunder. So they can't really try to overlap with the World Cup, which is also every 4 years. So you could kind of sneak in some other stuff, but, in those years before, I don't know.
I kind of wish it was 2.
Just 2?
Yeah, I don't want to wait. And then
you're off, another
World Cup can be 2, and it can alternate years.
They just
every year we get a huge world event.
Yeah.
No, I don't care about the World Cup that much, but...
You love the World Cup. You were telling me it's your favorite cup.
I enjoy watching the fans, like, go crazy.
It's nice to have a big spectacle every year.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something where the whole world starts paying attention.
Like to cheer on USA, Start a USA chant and whatnot.
Yeah, as long as we make the World Cup.
True. Guaranteed. All right, fun show today. We're going to talk about some betting lines. We got some updated lines and whatnot at every weight. We're going to do a draft that we recorded a couple weeks ago of the all-time Iowa wrestlers, University of Iowa wrestlers. Draft.
Just Hawkeyes.
Just Hawkeyes.
Not from Iowa, not you and I are Iowa State. These
Correct.
are Hawkeyes only.
Hawkeyes only, no matter where they grew up, but if they wrestled at the University of Iowa, that's the draft. Going to get to some questions, and then we'll get out of here. Just kind of a programming note. Next week, we will do a show at a normal Monday time. The Olympics will have started by that point. Monday is the first day for wrestling. We will have one session in the books, but then we will not have a normal scheduled live show until the following Thursday. So not Thursday of next week, but the Thursday after. We will, if you listen on the podcast feed, every day have a recap kind of from the boys in Paris. They're going to shoot some stuff and upload it. Unfortunately, that will not be live anywhere. So if you're a live listener, I'm sorry. But just kind of, that's how technology is sometimes in a different country.
Live on tape.
Yeah, live on tape.
We got a nice crew.
It'll be FROT, FloWrestling on tape.
On tape, on demand. But we got a good crew out there in Paris. You mentioned CP is out there. We also got Andy Hamilton, one of the best in the biz, and then our 2 shooters. Tyler, of course, and then Connor Petros. Has he been on FRL?
I don't think he's been on FRL. He has been on a watch party.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Oh, watch party.
He's been mentioned on
Yeah.
FRL, but I don't think he's ever made an appearance.
Olympic Team Trials watch party. He was the Quiet Storm, the MVP.
That's right. So, hey, let's get into it. We're going to talk some betting lines. But first, betting lines reminds me, if you don't want to actually put money down on these, you don't have to put money down to win money because...
Nothing at risk.
That's right. Nothing at risk with Lineup Legends. This episode is presented by Lineup Legends. They offer free-to-play games with big cash prizes for both NCAA and Olympic-level wrestling events. They just hosted their first big game for NCAAs in March and offered a $10,000 prize. And now they're doing the same thing again, hosting another completely free game with a $10,000 prize for the Olympics in a couple of weeks. This needs to be updated in 1 week. In 1 week, it's a super simple sign-up. All you have to do is make your picks and submit them via the Lineup Legends Google form, which will be linked in this episode description. The Olympic game is awesome. It's a gold medalist pick'em featuring all 6 men's freestyle weights plus 4 women's freestyle weights and 2 Greco-Roman weights too. Just decide who you think is going to win the gold medal at each weight, and if you're right, you have a chance at taking home $10,000. No BS, no nothing. You can actually win $10,000. Each person is allowed to submit 1 entry, and you're allowed up to 10 entries if you share the game with friends too. That's 10 free chances to win $10,000 if you think you know a thing or two about the sport of wrestling.
How cool is that?
It's amazing.
They say there's no free lunches, but first of all, it's fun to do pick'em contests just on your own. I mean, you don't necessarily need like a
We
Google
would do
form,
this
but
anyway.
Yeah, you could just get your friends together or just do it yourself and then share with people. Well, look, they're organizing it. They're giving you the form. It couldn't be easier. We showed you on an episode a couple of FRLs ago just how simple it is. And hey, 10,000, a cool 10K. That's not bad.
10 G's, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we'll get into the DraftKings and ESPN slightly less cool because you have to actually risk something, unlike Lineup Legends. So, 57 kilograms. These odds are as of this morning. We looked it up this morning. I know when they first came out, they were a little different. People have been put money down, changing lines. But we've got our American, Spencer Lee, the favorite now, minus 110 on DraftKings lines. Stefan Micic plus 160, Ray Higuchi plus 500, Abakarov plus 800, Hartunian plus 1200, RBY plus 1600, Zhao from China plus 6,000, and there's some other ones too, but probably I don't think too many people are going to be betting those. What do we think about this line? So where are y'all putting your money?
It's interesting, and then we'll get to some of the other ones. But Spencer, the favorite at DraftKings, if you go on ESPN Bet, which I just downloaded and got on the app, it was pretty simple. Also, bet safely and whatever disclosure
Responsibly.
Anything that we're supposed to, safely and responsibly. But Spencer is not the favorite. It's still Micic on ESPN Bet. So it pays to kind of shop around, see what other odds are out there. It's interesting how you're going to hear a lot of people say, I got Spencer when he was plus 400, plus 500. That means he was not the favorite. That means you bet $10 and you get 50 if you got Spencer that much. Now you bet Spencer, it's basically even money. You put 10 at risk and then you get your money back plus 10 more if he wins it. But that's to win gold. So it's interesting how much that line has moved. A lot of American dollars probably betting on Spencer, and I don't think it's a bad idea because if I had to pick a guy right now, I'm saying give me Spencer.
Now, I don't think Spencer's the value play, though.
That's right.
Minus 110.
So there's different strategies for if you're a sports gambler, a sports wagerer. It's a way to leverage some excitement. So you put like $10 down on a event that you don't really know much about, and now you got interest because hey, if you lose it, that's a pain, but if you win, that's like cool. So there's entertainment play where you just want to pick so you want to root for guys, and then you kind of amp up the excitement a little bit. Then there's the value play, which is you can't have your allegiances to Team USA or Spencer or the Hawkeyes.
Right.
At that point, you're not getting a ton of value. Now, again, I said I'm picking Spencer, but at a 50-50, I mean, there are several guys that are gold medal contenders. So think about it. If you have 5 guys with an equal shot of winning gold, then you're not going to get any value unless they're at plus 500, which is what Spencer started out as, which is, a 1 in 5 shot of winning gold, which is still really, really good. But you're not going to get value if he's now at a 50% chance and he's at a little bit less than a 50% chance because, Miches literally just won Worlds with a ton of the guys that are also gold medal contenders. Abakarov won 2 years ago. Do you give those guys a shot? If you give all those guys an equal shot, then there goes all your value for Spencer.
To me, if I'm putting money down on this weight, it's either Higuchi or Abakarov.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Higuchi plus 500, Abakarov plus 800. And these have even shifted a little bit. Excuse me, because I know when I was looking this weekend, Abakarov was plus 900. So, but a lot of money coming in on Spencer Lee because he started out plus money on DraftKings.
And then so you have, if you're on ESPN Bet, Spencer is plus 120 and Miches plus 110. So those guys are about as equal as you can get. They're both kind of a coin flip if you think they're going to win. But, Kozak, you said Abakarov and Higuchi. They've been, for the last 2-3 years, two of the best guys in the weight class, no?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Higuchi's a guy who he beat Otaguro up at 65, and then we just saw him win silver last year, world champ at 61. I mean, he's about as consistent as they come. If this was like just making the medal stand, you feel like so good about Higuchi. And then, Abakarov maybe a little bit less, but still at plus 800. And he was world champ 2 years ago. Beat Aguyev, was really close to beating Mičić. I feel like that's great value right there.
Pull up Higuchi's Instagram for me, will you, Kozak, his most recent post?
Mm-hmm.
Is he confident posting? Is he making jokes?
He's making jokes, and his translations are always funny, but...
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Okay. I know he tweets sometimes.
Yeah, he's a big tweeter.
Which one? This one?
His most recent one. His, with his, I assume, chiropractor, and then go to the next photo.
See translation?
It's just... Look how ripped he is. Look at he's all veined up in his legs even.
You're doing the eyeball test.
Yeah.
You're saying this guy looks like...
Well, he has famously struggled with weight. Like you said, he competed up at 65.
Well, and he missed the Olympics
because
Tokyo
he missed weight.
Yeah.
But assuming it all goes to plan, plus 4-hour weigh-in favors him, I might be putting my money on Higuchi.
Yeah.
Plus 500.
What about Aman from India? He got on I think it was ESPN Bet or another place I saw him only 1% chance of winning, so it was like plus 100,000 or something like that. I feel like you bet $1, you win 100 on a young guy from India that's
it's not a bad bet.
20 years old coming into his prime. That's a flyer bet. That's like if you can place $1 on a guy that'll give you 100 if he wins. Doesn't seem like that bad of a bet.
No, that's a good bet. Shout out to the guy who messaged me photographic evidence of his $1,000 bet on Spencer Lee.
Ooh, yeah.
And he got in at plus 150.
Okay.
So
he could just be really good with Photoshop.
I suppose that's true. I doubt it, though.
Yeah.
We are not encouraging anyone to bet irresponsibly so that you get shout out.
But if you want a shout out,
but if you do want to shout out,
1,000 now and send us a picture.
Yeah, more than 1,000. If you bet more than 1,000, I will shout you out. It might be on the watch party, but
I don't think we should encourage it until some of these sports books starts kicking in a few shekels for us.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. Think about it from a business perspective.
Yeah, go send a lineup legends. Just toss them 1,000 bones for no reason.
Yeah.
No, but I think I'd go maybe a couple shekels on Higuchi and Abakarov.
Yeah. Also, and if you're for the fun play and not so much looking for value, RBY and Darian Cruz are going to have really low odds. I don't think they have a 0% chance, so put a couple bucks down. If you never see it again, so what? But you got a chance to win a whole lot, and you get to root for some two more Americans that have wrestled for two great Pennsylvania universities.
Would you rather? So what I sometimes like to do is I'll bet against the person I'm rooting for. If I think
so
there's
that
been
you
a value,
pay yourself
it's a
for your
win-win.
Misery. Yeah,
it's a win-win.
I do that with like football and team sports a lot because it's like, how much would you pay to watch your favorite team win a football game? It's like, if I could just pay $20, I would do it. Well, if they're the underdog, or if they're the favorite, then you bet the underdog, and then you get paid when
they lose. Exactly. Yeah. Our producer says we're cowards. No, I just like to hedge myself.
I do both. Sometimes I bet on the guy I want to win. Sometimes I bet, hedge your emotions.
Yeah. All right, 65. kilograms. We've got Musakayev, the favorite, plus 125. Amuzad from Iran, plus 370. Zane Rutherford, your next best odds at plus 450. Seabass, plus 500. Tavanian, plus 650. This might be the play here. Ochir of Mongolia, plus 1,000. So you bet 100, you get $1,000. Kuka, I would also entertain at plus 2,000.
Yeah, those are plus 2,000 means you bet a dollar, you get 20 back if he wins, and then you can scale that up. He's interesting because he beat Odaguru in the Japanese World Team Trials, which would signal he's at the top of the game, but he doesn't have as many results.
Right.
Like I don't know what his best international is, or if you know that off the top of your head, John. But
It's a guru's held on that spot.
Yeah.
So
when you're stuck behind a guy like that, you don't get as many international shots.
Like you said, Kyrgios beat Musakayev, but then he lost to Haji Aliyev at the same tournament. So it kind of shows you whatever
parity
is, variance there in results. And I don't think he medaled at an age level at all.
I also like Amuzad plus 370.
Yeah, he's a
It's
guy.
entertaining.
I feel like he's a guy where even though he didn't medal last year, 65 is so hard to repeat. I mean, John, you were looking at the stuff right in the office of how many guys repeat, not even just gold, but just make the medal stand. And one guy who has been the most consistent maybe the last 5-10 years is Bajrang, and he's not even in the field.
Yeah. Yeah, over the last 10 years. I just put that article up yesterday. You can look at it.
Nice.
But yeah, it's interesting. 65 of any weight has just the most parity, and Russia's been the one that's dominated. They're not here, so yeah. In the last 10 years, Romanov and Odaguru are guys who won 2 golds, but after that, it's one guy coming in, winning, and then doesn't win again. So I feel good about Amuzad, Musakayev, but yeah, I think the value here is Tolga and Kuka.
I don't like Musakayev plus 125. I mean, I think he was my pick. He's probably maybe my lineup legends pick, but I just feel like you're not getting enough value at plus 125.
Yeah, you almost want him from like the dark horse, underestimate this little speedy guy, and then watch him, do magic tricks on the mat,
Right.
pull victories out of what look like losses. Yeah, it's hard to find any value at a weight class this crazy. I mean, I like just, you got an American at plus money like that. You got Seabass. Gomez, the 2 lines I saw were plus 6,500 and 2,500. So, those could be interesting picks just for fun. And if they don't play out, put a little small wager on it. I like, you mentioned Haji. He's crazy plus money. He might be a little bit on the downward slope of his career. He's a little bit older, but if he can make 65 and still has some strength, he could be effective. And another older guy for Cuba, Valdez, Tobier. He is a guy that, I don't know, could be dangerous.
Yeah, Kibo is dangerous. Unfortunately, I don't love Zane at plus 450. I'm not sure if you're getting enough there for a gold. Not just to medal, but for a gold.
Yeah, the odds totally change if it's to make the medal stand. That means he's got around 20 to 15 to 20% chance of making of winning gold with plus 450, or plus 500.
Yeah. 74 kilograms, the biggest favorite of any men's freestyler, Kyle Dake, minus 700. What was he on ESPN?
Minus 650, about the same.
About the same. Kyle Dake's my pick to win. I'm not touching a minus 700 line, no matter who.
And I say throw the value play out the window. Live a little bit. It's the Olympics. If you want to wager everybody, he's the favorite. Plonk a few bucks down. You make it back. Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy on any of these, but do a little betting with your heart at some point.
Well, if I'm betting with my brain, I'm going Zamalov at 74 kilograms at plus 450. I think he's probably the play.
I think that's probably one of the best values there too. So maybe you do both. You put a little bit on Dake and a little bit on Jamalov, and then you hedge your emotions. And that way, if Jamalov wins, he's a Russian. He's, I believe, Chechen. Wrestles for not Albania. Where is he at now?
Uzbekistan.
That's right. Him and Abdurakhmanov. There was a question over who would start. He was a guy that he won Russian Nationals twice. I mean, he's a guy.
Yeah, he won a Russian Nationals that Sidakov took third at, and then he was 2-2 with Sidakov at the last Russian Nationals that would have decided the Olympic team spot in 21. So Jamalov's no joke. But Victor Rasidin at 3,500, he just beat German Valiev, who's plus 800. So whoever's doing the lines, maybe didn't do their homework too good. So Rasidin's a guy who, if he makes the finals, I'm not surprised at all. And then once you're there, anything can happen. He's a guy who can wrestle. He can wrestle Dake close. And I mentioned Valiev. He beat Jason Nolf, I think 5-0 or 6-1, something like that. So there's guys here in the bracket who are really dangerous. And to JD's point, it's like that's why you don't touch Kyle Dake at minus 700. It's just the value's not there, and the level of this bracket is really crazy.
Yeah, no Sidakov, which of course he should be the favorite if he was in, even though people still might bet on Dake for the rematch. I might bet on Dake on the rematch if it was even money. But that would change the odds there. But a lot of Russians still there. Zhamalov wrestles for Uzbekistan. Salkazanov has been wrestling for Slovakia. He's a multiple-time Euro champ and medalist. German Valiev now at Albania, along with Abakarov down at 57. Where Rasidin wrestles for Tajikistan in Central Asia. He is from the Siberian part of Russia, not far away. I asked you this in the office, but what about Amami at plus 5,000? He's a guy that wrestled Dake to a criteria match.
It's not a bad, value play. It's a pretty good value play. I don't think he's going to win, but appropriate odds.
Yeah, he's not good enough.
So you're wasting your money, says John.
He just
That's
doesn't have
what
any
you
offense.
told me.
He doesn't have the offense to run through a bracket like this. He could place.
It is a crazy bracket.
86, I feel like they did pretty well with these odds. They've got Yazdani, the favorite, at minus 170. Brooks at plus 120. I don't hate Brooks at plus 120.
Yeah, they made it real hard to wager against to wager both of these guys. You can't really make money if you bet on Yazdani and Brooks. They'll cancel each other out. I like Karugliev at plus 2,000 or Miles Amina plus 2,000. They've traded matches. Can they run the gauntlet and then take out either Yaz or Brooks? Are they going to be on opposite sides? I forget.
Who's that?
Brooks and Yazdani.
Brooks is
random draw.
Random draw.
And then Yazdani and Amin are already on the same side.
So you never know
along with Karugliev.
Yeah. If Brooks and Yazdani end up on the same side and they're the two toughest guys, then maybe someone on that other side makes it run.
97 kilograms. Tajudinov, the favorite, at minus 200. Kyle Snyder, plus 125. Megamedov from Azerbaijan, plus 1,000. Azupira, plus 1,600. Those are probably the biggest names there. I don't love any of these odds enough where I don't think I'd place any money down on 97 kilograms. If I had to, I'd go Snyder. Not a lot, but just for fun. Positive money.
That's why I say if you see any Americans at plus money, make a wager. You don't have to, but that would be a fun way to play. Is all the so sticking with your point of hey Dake at minus 600, 700, you're only going to win a couple bucks to every 10 that you put up. But if you have Snyder at plus money, you get $1.25 for every dollar that you put up. It might be fun. And then he definitely has a shot against Tajudinov, but Tajudinov is the favorite. You got to put $2 up for every one that you want to win. I don't know if that's going to be as much fun rooting for a guy that doesn't get you that big payoff if he's not an American.
I really do think that the hardcore fans are counting Kyle out too much, or more than they should, just based off of one match at last year's where Kyle did get teched and, legitimately did, but I don't see that match going the exact same way. And if you look at Tajudinov's couple tournaments since then, he's won, but it hasn't been in dominating fashion, kind of like it was at the World Championship. So he's probably my lineup legends pick to win, but I'm absolutely not counting Kyle Snyder out of this match.
You would definitely be foolish to count Snyder out completely, for sure. I think those odds are pretty good. They're good for a bookmaker in that you don't want anyone to jump out and be like, oh, why aren't you putting money on Tajudinov?
Right.
Started at an earlier, maybe at plus money. Tajudinov at plus money, that'd be tough to resist even for American fans. But as it is now, yeah, I don't see a lot of value in Tajudinov.
This is a bracket where I wish we had the draws out already, and I don't know, how long they're going to keep the books open. But if Azar Pira winds up on the other side from Snyder and Tajudinov, I think that's when you bet him, just because I think he is the clear number 3 guy, and then you kind of think, okay, he's gonna
Make the final.
He's gonna make the finals, and if he's already beaten Kyle Snyder this year, and so then if Snyder takes out Tajudinov, then it's just Azar Pira Snyder, and you feel good about maybe betting those odds.
And he's young, right? Azar Pira.
He's 22 maybe.
And he did. I mean, Zahid Valencia had that awesome match where he came back from behind. They were down at 92, and you could tell that wiped both of them out completely. Zahid lost his next match, and that knocks Azar Pira out. So I think a lot of people might be looking at that 92 kilo performance and say Azar Pira, he can't win 92. How's he going to win 97? Well, maybe 97 is a better weight for him, and a young guy coming into his weight class and upper weight. So hitting your stride at 22, that's certainly not, before, a couple years before, maybe a little different story. But yeah, I think John identified a good value play there too.
There's a couple good value plays at heavyweight too. 125 kilos. Zare the favorite at minus 190. Mason Paris plus 200. Here's, I think, where I'd put my shekels though. Either Akgul or Petriashvili, both plus 700. I think that's kind of the play there. Zare is for sure the favorite. He's my lineup legends pick, but I think you get the most value with Akgul and Petriashvili.
Yeah, I don't like Zare at minus 190. That's the same he was on the ESPN bet. I mean, I would put him the favorite. I think you have to after his last performance at Worlds. But are you that confident that 2-1 you got to make twice your money back? It certainly wouldn't be as fun when you have Paris at plus money or Taha or Geno. What's interesting is the ESPN bet had Geno at plus 750 and Taha at plus 550. So they may have been getting a few more bets on Taha because they've gone back and forth. But where are they right now is the question. And I think Taha has shown he's got a little bit of an edge over Geno. So if you're going to bet on Taha, get his odds here on DraftKings. Don't go to ESPN Bet. That's the value of shopping around. And that's why you tune in to a show like this.
That's right.
Get that edge.
Everything you need to know.
Maybe the only reason why you wouldn't bet Taha is because he is on the same side as Zare, so they're going to hit in the semis. So maybe the logic there is, if Taha knocks out Zare, then you got Petriashvili versus Akgul in the finals. But Taha has kind of owned that rivalry, I think, over the last few years, where it was kind of going back and forth. Taha's kind of stepped ahead, head-to-head. And then Akgul is I think he's the last guy to beat Zare at 2022 Worlds, right? So I feel like he's, in this plus 700, I think he's the value, in my opinion.
Well, there you
go. Russia being out of this Olympics, partly by their own choice, would do nothing for these odds here. They don't have a heavyweight that would be anything to these top four. Nor would he be a good value player.
No, these four are definitely the top four. Kurbanov's not quite on that level.
Mokhtar and Deng as like an extreme flyer plus 5,000 or plus whatever. That's the Mongolian and the Chinese heavyweight. If you're looking for just a cheap $1 bet, but I don't think they have as much of a chance.
Well, there you go. You just got to listen to this, follow our instructions, and in 2 weeks' time, you will be, like $50K richer?
You will be, if you put small wagers, you could be potentially up $100.
Plus 10,000.
And then a cool 10K.
That's right. And you don't even have to risk anything there.
Any interesting comments in the YouTube from anybody saying what wagers they like or they've seen?
I haven't been following it too much because I've been pulling up the odds, but
you're doing double duty.
Let me check here. If you guys want to transition to another topic, and if anybody says anything crazy, I'll let you know.
Yeah, if anybody that already has their wager in wants to let everybody know of a good value.
Avery Gaming said he does have a 16 or 17 leg parlay on something between track and field and wrestling.
17 leg.
And if he
My
wins,
guy, that's not going to hit.
if he wins, he gets $3,000 or something.
You did not get good value on a 17 leg parlay.
17 leg parlay is
It
crazy.
should be like a $2 million payout.
Yeah. That's another thing is if you know someone that so you take our wrestling expertise and if you can parlay with someone that has, I don't know, track and field expertise or swimming or something that knows, oh, here's a sleeper, that's a good value, and here's a sleeper with good value.
Yeah, you do a 2 or 3 leg though, not a 17.
Yeah, 17 is wild. But hey, fingers crossed.
I'm gonna ask him how much he bet to get that.
It's got to be.
I hope it was like $2. Yeah.
He says it will hit, bro.
I love Avery Gaming's confidence. He has fun when he watches these games.
All right, bro.
Competitions.
All right. We are going to cut to one of our famous drafts. We recorded this pre-Fargo, even, which feels like forever ago. It really was a long time. So we're going to cut to ourselves several weeks ago right here in the studio. All right. We've got the draft of all-time Iowa wrestlers. All-time Hawkeye wrestlers, not the state of Iowa. All-time Hawkeye wrestlers. This one could get contentious. Really tough to narrow down.
I hope I get first pick. I want it so bad.
I actually don't mind if I don't get first
I want
pick.
first
But
pick.
let's find out who gets first pick. David Bray.
All right.
Yeah.
Hit us with it.
Random number generator.
Random secured number generator.
We got CP, then Tyler, then JD.
Okay.
Oh, baby. I'm going to wipe my face off.
1-1.
Got a little
Okay.
I think
What are we doing? 3
I
rounds?
did kind of want one. I
Three.
feel like there's a 1-1.
3 rounds.
1 is there's a 1-1.
There's some good options for number 1. There's some fine options. There's some respectable ones. But my choice, without a doubt, Tom Brands.
Yep. That's what I would have
Three-time-
done too.
3-time national champion, Olympic champion, embodies the Iowa style as well as anyone did. Intensity, incredible technique, breaking guys, just very much the prototypical for style, prototypical for mentality, and debatably, maybe not debatably, the winningest ever. Just an absolute icon of the sport and for Iowa wrestling. From Iowa, went to Iowa, 3 titles, Olympic title. What else can be said?
69 match win streak.
We're sure that's not
Nice.
Terry.
Nice.
I'm not sure that's not Terry Brands there.
I'm not sure
I
either,
can't
but
tell
I
them apart
googled
in the
it.
90s.
I'm pretty sure that's Terry.
Look. I googled it. I googled Tom Brands.
There's
This is what
plenty
came up.
of mislabeled ones. I know I'm pretty good at telling.
I can tell them apart now, but like in the 90s.
I'm pretty good at telling. I'll have to look again. No.
Is it my turn?
Your turn. Your 2.
So that was a really good number 1 pick. That would have been my number 1 pick. But I think the number 2 pick just as good, honestly.
Mhm.
Because we're in the modern era. We're in the social media era.
Yeah.
The winner of these drafts gets determined on social media.
True.
Who even remembers? Who on social media is old enough to remember who Tom Brandt? I'm just kidding. That's a complete joke.
Wow.
Complete joke. But the person I'm about to draft, a lot of kids younger than me, about 5 years younger than me,
Let's just say it.
they grew up looking up to this guy. Like, this is their hero. People worship this guy. I was just out on Bo Bassett's recruiting visit. This is the guy that he worshipped growing up as well.
Charles Matthews.
Charles Matthews. I don't know who that is. I'm going to go with Spencer Lee, 3-time national champion for the Hawks, the face of the program, brought them back to, they were in a little bit of a national title drought, brought them back to one. Got to go with Spencer Lee.
The thing with Spencer, you get 2 Hodges.
That's nice.
Double Hodge.
That's tasty.
Now,
2 piece of Hodge on my plate.
yeah, if we did this, in a couple months, maybe he's also an Olympic gold medalist,
Yeah.
which would be huge. But as of right now, he's not. And
Tyler doesn't think that's going to happen, but I do.
if you want to have another knock on Spencer, his only undefeated national championship season, he was 12-0.
Whatever. I don't care.
So
Doesn't
that's
matter.
obviously getting real.
Stats won't be on the graphic. Give me Spencer Lee all day long.
This is true. Yeah, it is a good pick. It was a good pick. He very well could have been my number 2 as well.
He's the most popular NCAA wrestler of the modern generation, of the modern era.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Name one more popular. than
Jordan
him.
Burroughs significantly.
Not while he was in college.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's an NCAA wrestler.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I said it, so you should have.
With my first pick, I'm going Lincoln McIlravy.
Good one.
Fantastic.
4-time finalist.
That would have been mine.
That's only something like 3 other Hawkeyes. Two other, I think, Hawkeyes that can say, maybe even one. He Olympic bronze medalist, 2 undefeated seasons. Something. Did Spencer? Did he have 2 undefeated seasons?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. He's 3rd all-time in career win percentage, with a 97 career win percentage. So
Yeah. One is a true freshman, which I think is super notable.
true freshman.
Spence- Tyler didn't make that point about Spencer, but I will.
Oh yeah, true freshman national champion Spencer Lee. Thank you for bringing attention back to my pick.
In his in that weight that he won, you had national champion Nathan Tomasello, national champion to be Nick Soriano, national champion Darian Cruz. Yeah, good weight.
Thank you.
Also, sick mullet. So I get that too.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
legendary.
the mullet fits his name too. Like he just looks like a Lincoln McIlravy.
Well, he's from South Dakota. You know, it all fits. It's all
Plus
part of it.
the boot scoot, that was
Oh,
his
yeah.
thing, you know, and
Boogie it all night long.
just that was a great fit for the personality too. You just basically you own a move, and it's a very cool move.
With my second pick, I'm going Ed Bannock.
Oh, he was
Another 4-time finalist. He is those 2 are 2 of 3 finalists. I don't think people are going to know the other guy. He has the most pins in Hawkeye history. He went 1-1-2-1. If it wasn't for that darn Schultz,
Mark.
yep, he would be 4-timer. So Olympic gold medalist, 141, 9-1. That's over 150 college matches. So
I'm thrilled to be able to pick this guy.
It's not your
I,
turn.
I thought
It's my turn.
Not.
My turn, baby.
That's true.
You don't get a pick.
almost.
And I'm thrilled to pick Brent Metcalf, baby. That's my pick. Put it on my list. Brent Metcalf, face of the Hawkeye program, 2-time national champion. Only got 3 years of eligibility. Am I correct in saying that?
You are correct.
He could have had more. Dude's just an all-around savage. 3-time national finalist.
Mm-hmm.
2-time champ in the 3 years that he was able to compete.
He
Face of
also-
the program, embodied the Iowa style, in your face, tough. Has one of the greatest moments of all time, NCAA finals moments of all time, when Caldwell cartwheeled and he pushed him. That was when he lost. That was when he lost, but still,
So I don't
Great
know why
point.
I don't know why you brought that.
still an iconic Brent Metcalf moment.
Yeah, you get a Hodge. 69 match win streak again. Nice. He's number 2 career all-time win percentage for the Hawkeyes with a 108-3 record. Really good pick. The obvious knock on Metcalf is he doesn't have the international accolades that some of these other guys have.
Well, I don't care. We're picking
Yeah,
best
we all-
Hawkeye wrestlers.
Yeah. It's
And it's lore with Metcalf.
lore. Yeah.
You know, that,
feel like-
that a guy like
And he can
McIlravy
kick
doesn't
flip.
have.
Did I mention that? He can kick flip?
Yeah. Unlike you.
That's not true. You've seen that video evidence, so mind your manners.
You weren't sure how you were going to fit.
I don't know.
You're like, mind your business. But that doesn't make sense. So let me think. Am I up?
You're up.
I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
I really wanted that. But then I get an even better pick, which is crazy. This guy was 99-1.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Number 1 all time.
TJ Williams. You don't know who that is.
Now, can I put your pick down?
I don't know who that is.
No. Words can't bring me down.
Because
Don't you bring me down today.
No.
he did not wrestle Division 1 his first year and didn't even win JUCOs.
I don't care about that.
So,
99-1.
yeah. But if you include a freshman year where, again, didn't win JUCOs, then obviously he doesn't have the win percentage.
So, yeah, I mean, it's like including Tom Brands for hurting him for losing in high school. It's not even in.
No, it's different
Yeah.
and you know it. It's different and you know it.
Not trying. Obviously,
I've never heard of this guy, so I'm not even going to be in this argument.
That's insane.
I knew it. I knew it. Oof, I knew this.
I can't believe you're on this podcast.
What year did he wrestle?
Haven't heard of TJ Williams.
2000s.
Early yeah.
I didn't start wrestling until
Illinois.
2012.
Illinois legend.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you heard of his brother Joe?
Oh, yeah, Joe Williams.
It's his brother.
Okay.
He knows Joe.
no, that's a good pick.
Okay.
I just have
it
to.
back to
I
me?
just have to belittle it because I didn't get it.
Man, I have 2.
Wait. Don't you get another one?
I hope so.
Oh,
Yeah, you get another one in a row.
dang it.
All right.
The last one.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it'll make my decision easier,
it's
probably.
my last one. I'm gonna go with Barry Davis.
Solid.
The pride of Cedar Rapids. This guy, 3-time champ.
Yes.
I looked it up.
You could argue another of the pride of Cedar Rapids, but
Huh? Well, then you can argue it. 3-time world and Olympic medalist, Olympic silver. Was definitely a prototypical Iowa style. When the brands came out, they were compared to Barry Davis in intensity and pressure. And yeah, all around great guy too.
Yeah.
I know Coach personally, as good as they come.
I
Great.
will say, never had an undefeated season.
JD loves to knock our picks.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
feel
yeah, that's the point.
I don't throw barbs at. I don't think
You do throw barbs.
but I haven't here.
At mine.
If you knew these tidbits.
You throw barbs.
You think I don't?
Both of
you
you.
think I don't know that Brent Metcalf had losses?
I don't be dragging your guys' picks down
Be
the
dragging.
way you be dragging mine down.
Be dragging sounds like a word.
I think also didn't he win his world silver while he was in college?
Yes, he
That is
did.
true.
So that's kind of a bonus point. I've been propping up your picks too. I've been saying how high the win
true.
percentages are, match win streaks. He has the most wins all time in a single season for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
46.
Good gosh.
Yep. And the most wins in a career at 162.
And the most go juice drinks. Is that what it was called?
It was his giddy up juice.
Giddy up
Giddy up
juice.
juice.
Orange juice and
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, and it almost gave him a heart attack, and he had to stop.
He's the original Dr. Dew.
Also, the most times that Gable had to find him in a grocery store and bring him back to Big Tens.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most iconic wrestling stories ever is when he broke and left, and then Gable found him, and he won NCAAs and Big Tens.
And he found him just in time because he had a bag full of pastries. He was just
Yeah. He's about to go nuts on those donuts.
Yep.
All right, who's up?
Me. And now I have 3 options that are all really good, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show my range and my research.
Finally.
Not my research, but I'm going to go with Mark Ironside. I was
Cedar Rapids.
first
He's another Cedar Rapids guy. I was like, you could argue.
I was first ever Hodge Trophy winner. 2-time national champion. He had 2 undefeated seasons and a 67 match win streak.
Monster.
Yeah, I was first ever Heisman Hodge, which is a pretty big deal. Paved the way for all the other ones that we've mentioned.
He's the man. Very good choice.
Yes, with my last pick, and the last pick of the draft, I'm deciding between Zaleski and Joe Williams, but I'm going to go Joe Williams. 7-1-1-1 where his NCAA finishes. His brother might have done some similar if he wrestled at the University of Iowa his true freshman year, but I guess we'll never know. 129-9, 1998 NCAA championship OW.
So it hurt me not to say Terry Brands.
Yeah.
Also,
If he would have won Olympic gold,
I wanted to. I mean,
he's on that list.
Well,
neither did Mark Ironside.
didn't start all 4 years.
Oh, he didn't. I didn't even realize that. But
Behind Steve Martin, I think, 1 year.
I also, part of me almost said Thomas Gilman just because of how much of a face of the program he was for a while.
Never won an NCAA title.
He's such a name, you know.
He is certainly a name. Yeah.
There's a lot of names though that
Yeah.
it's not all just accolades, but also now you look at what has since happened with him in the program.
Yeah, but still, like when he was on their team, like he was the face of the program for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Corey Clark had a great career.
Corey Clark.
National
4-time
like
three-time finalist, 2-time finalist.
5 to. Oh, was he really hurt his senior year? 1. He beat NATO and Gross in 17. What happened in 18? I can't even recall. Because he was 14, 15, 16. No, 17 was his senior year. 16. Oh, he lost to Brewer and Nashon in the finals. So he was like 5-2-2-1.
Yeah, so 3-time finalist.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Campbell
Yes, thought about it.
would have been a good one. Yeah. Obviously, we said Terry Brands. He was on my list as well. I had Jeff McGinnis,
Yes.
Randy Lewis.
Lubu.
Yep. Mark Perry, I think deserves a mention.
I almost said him just because of how legendary like his whole story is with Iowa.
Yeah. A lot of good Hawkeye options, and probably some we missed.
Royce Alger.
Of course, 2-time champ.
I also think because of the way his career ended, and that he didn't really do much international. But if you look at kind of Matt McDonough, I think he gets kind of forgotten that he was such a legend when he was wrestling, mostly because of the way his career ended, like I said. But
Yeah.
I think I'm going to win this one.
I think you might.
I got Spencer Lee. I got Brent Metcalf. I got Mark Ironside.
That's good.
I mean, I think I don't know. I think it's going to be weird for people to not see Terry Brands in this thing because he's like, I was just looking at our top 100 wrestlers, American wrestlers of all time. He's up there. He's 25 on that list.
I almost picked Terry instead of Mark just
Well,
because he's so iconic.
And
Can I go back and change?
No.
No, dude.
you want to hear the other 4-time finalists besides Bannock and McElravy? You'll
Yes.
never guess. Dwayne Goldman.
Yeah, he was like 3 or 4-time finalist.
Yeah, but I think only a one-time champ.
Yeah, he was like 2-2-2-1.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Oh my gosh. He coached at Indiana
Not
for
a,
like
what do I
ever.
look like, a historian?
He lives-
He's a
he lives-
Colorado Springs guy.
Yeah. He listens to I think every FRL.
Really?
Yeah, he
Shout out to him.
he texts me all the time like after segments.
I have heard of you.
I think he went to Cheyenne Mountain High School.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't know the names of Division I coaches that coached against me when I was wrestling in college.
Yeah, Brandon Eggum.
Stop saying his name.
I'm not. until you start knowing it, I'm gonna keep.
I know him.
I hate that you just.
You could
put
also
that out
toss
there.
in Bill Zadek, world champion.
Yep.
So, another great Hawkeye.
Cool. Good segment.
Yep, that was it. So now we're gonna cut back to us. Go vote for who you think won today's draft on all our socials, and now back to us live in the studio. Thank you, Past JD, for tossing to current me. We're gonna get to some questions before we close out the show from all of you, our friends at home. This one's from EJ Newton. You know how people have a hard time beating a certain person because of style matchups. I really think Paris is that person for Zare. If they face each other, I think Paris may win. We talked a little bit about this on Monday when we did our complete 125 preview. Yeah, he is one of the few people that have beaten him in the past 5 years. You can't say that, although I think people are getting hung up a little bit too much on a Junior Worlds match that happened 5 years ago. But
5 years is a good amount of time. Tough to say that, that should apply now, like 100%. There's no way he would beat him. But I do think Mason's got a little bit of a different style for heavyweights. There are some heavyweights that are very predictable. I think
Zare
is probably the
fits
most
the mold, yes.
Yeah. But, he's got a lot of success with it. But I think that the tricep, the tricep control, and then the fireman's dump series that he has is very dangerous because a lot of heavyweights get in that position, and he can hit it from parterre on the knees, he can hit it from the feet, he can rip one if he needs big points. So it's a really nice tool to have in your arsenal, and I think that's why you should not count Paris out, even though he hasn't maybe elevated his results to some of these other guys. There's no reason to think he can't. I don't know if you say Zare's just not going to beat him because of their styles, though. I think you still have to. I think 1-1, if you're being really honest, I think you still have to say Zare is the favorite, but you could still feel pretty strongly about Paris, especially if you're.
he crowned himself the king.
He did it. He did like all of the moves in a row. His first Worlds, he did. He did the crown, but he did the belt, right? And he went from he's like, give me the belt, give me the crown, and then he's like, give me a medal, and then he's like, I want to watch.
Backflip too. I think
I'm making some up now. I thought it was like
I don't
three
recall
different
Zare doing a
things.
backflip.
I think he did do a backflip at least one time when he won. But
Oh, because didn't he kind of call it Gable too? And that was part of it?
yeah, I think so. I think that was part of it. I do like how Mason matches up against Zare as opposed to like some of our other heavyweights. I think he does have the athleticism. He has that dump. Everything you guys said. But I think it's still Zare is still my pick. But yeah, I would love to see it. It'd be great.
This one's from Eric Eckstein. When do they release brackets, all at once or per day of competing for each weight class? So we believe brackets will come out the day prior that they start, that weight starts. So, you know, on Sunday we'll get Greco 60, 130, and women's 68. The next day, I forget what Greco's 77.
Yeah, we only there's 2 days where it's just one Greco guy starting off because we only have
JD made a beautiful schedule that you can look at on any of our social media,
That is right.
and tells you who wrestles every day, what time, where you can watch. I'm pulling it up now.
where you can watch, you can memorize because it's Peacock for every single
For
one.
every single one.
They'll also have some live, I think, on USA Network.
Not live.
They're doing some live.
Yeah. So Tuesday, you got 77 and 97, and Sarah Hildebrandt wrestles for women. So yeah, one women's weight a day. Starts with Greco Monday through Wednesday, and then men's freestyle starts Thursday through Sunday. And then, yeah, like I said, and like it was in Tokyo, one women's weight a day, which I think is kind of fun. You know, they sprinkle the women in there and make it last the whole week. Kind of like that.
Yeah. So every day you have men and women wrestling. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said that there's going to be some on one of the cable channels like USA Network, but it doesn't matter because you can't rely on cable to watch everything, so you may as well just get
I
Peacock.
assume they will like tune in to some of the wrestling at that time, but they are doing, I believe, a tape delay of like the medal matches on USA Network, where I think it'll just be wrestling,
just
maybe.
delay.
Yeah, but you know, like the Olympic channel surely will at times pan to.
Olympic channel doesn't exist anymore, so we're not going to watch any Olympics on that. They folded
Right.
that bad boy.
NBC.
But NBC, their whole
CNBC.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of
Network.
suite of cable channels that they're putting some stuff on. But
Don't count on that.
don't rely on it. Don't even bother looking it up. The cable TV is not for us. They don't want us. We don't need cable TV. Peacock, you get to pick your mat. It's going to be streaming everything all at once. I don't know who's doing the commentary. I don't know if NBC even has any control over that. But just get Peacock. It's like $7 a month if you don't have it already.
Get Peacock, mute it, turn into the watch party.
Yeah, and definitely watch us on the watch party. But we don't get anything if you get Peacock. By the way, this is just like those sports books.
We're just informing you.
This is a public service. This is other stuff.
OVA
that gives
this
us
is a public
nothing.
service announcement.
Yes.
All right. Next question from Gavin Avery, and actually next two because they kind of are very similar. With Keegan O'Toole and Levi Haynes both potentially moving up to 174 next season, is this the most anticipated finals matchup for NCAs? I would say it's up there, but I don't know about most anticipated when you've got a Juan Carter Starachi bumping up as well.
Yeah, if he goes to 84 and you got a potential Kekais and Starachi,
That's probably the match, right?
that is juicy. That is as credentialed as you can get. Certainly Haynes and O'Toole, two superstars as well. Would love to see how that plays out.
Would probably give the edge to Keegan at this point. You know, just experience, older. Plus, I think he's really good, obviously. And Haynes bumping up 2 weights. It still remains to be seen how he'll adjust to that.
Yeah. Also got Alirez coming back, that whole 141 thing.
Yep.
Some
Him and Jesse.
big matches there. And then, Bo's going to be right there as well. So Bartlett, Mendez, Alirez, maybe the best trio to look forward to.
Yeah, maybe. This is a similar question. This one's from The Real Slink. 2021 David Carr versus 2024 Levi Haynes. And I got to go, not biased, no Iowa bias. David Carr probably gets the edge for me. And, he's just
Coincidentally, a Cyclone.
coincidentally, or not coincidentally, but yeah, I mean, after what we just saw David do, I know this was David a couple of years before what he just did, but I do think and maybe I'm overreacting a little bit, but even right now, I feel like David Carr is very underappreciated for how good he is and the career he had with how few losses he had. In a way, his rivalry with Keegan O'Toole helps him because it'll go down as one of the greatest NCAA rivalries ever, probably. but also it kind of hurts him in terms of it took away a title from him and just win percentage wise too, that he took those losses every year.
Yeah, it's if you're not on a couple really high profile teams that have much bigger fan bases, it may be tougher to kind of feel like you're getting the same amount of attention that you might deserve. And I don't think it's unfair to say that Carr does not have quite as much hype considering his incredible career. I do think a lot might depend on if he starts making some world teams. That'll really help and keep him in the spotlight. But I have for this question, sure, we can go do that. But what about 2024 Carr versus Haynes or 2025 Carr versus Haynes? They were the same weight, but it's like I think Carr and Haynes are going to be pretty similar. They could have gotten to the same weight pretty quickly after NCAAs or whatever. And,
well, I'm sure we'll see this at 74 kilos moving forward.
Yeah, and we don't have to even speculate too much. We can get, we can hopefully see it.
Another question for you. So we mentioned Storace, probably not at 97, right? Probably sticking at 84, but we also could be a chance he stays at 174. What does a matchup between Carter Storace and Keegan O'Toole look like?
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Carter seems they're the same weight, so they're the same size, but Carter just seems so much bigger,
right,
than Keegan O'Toole.
Yeah, certainly. Like you get that impression. Storace, like the back and the chest, just seems
very chiseled.
Just seems
Keegan's
like it
got
should
the
be
baby
like
face.
Yeah, and Keegan, he's bigger than you'd think. I don't know. He doesn't have quite the definition of muscle,
Right.
but it's not like he's not strong or can't wrestle in any position.
I will kind of default to Storace just because he's got that dog, that X factor, that winning factor in him. That generally speaking, at the NCAA level,
He has that dog factor.
That's right, woof woof. This one's from the real.
Dogs,
The real Avery Lynch. Not a wrestling question, but we can get to it. Top 3 plain food.
dude? Avery just left too. He just said goodbye to everybody in the chat.
Oh, he loves making a big deal when he
It's
leaves
a little,
the chat.
little surprise for him when he listens back.
Yeah, nice.
R.I.P. Avery, the infamous parlayer. I'm not a big pre-plain food packer, or if it's a short flight, I normally just sleep. So
A little sleepy boy.
I'm a little sleepy boy, so I don't really eat too much on a plane unless we're going on a long flight, and then it's whatever they're serving. If you're going like international and you get the meal.
Yeah, or if you're lucky enough to get bumped up to first class.
Still sleeping.
Is it so? You never bring any food on with you to the plane?
No. I will say the best snacks, I don't fly them often, but when I do hit United, get some Stroopy waffles.
Stroopies, I was going to say, yeah. You can't beat the Stroop waffle, an underrated dessert snack cookie thing.
Delta cookies are okay, but
Well, they're just the little biscotti
yeah.
cookies. But here's what you do. The best combo with those, they're the perfect dunking cookie for coffee.
I'm not a big dunker in my coffee. I don't dunk donuts.
Well, if you try these Delta biscottis. Have you tried it?
I think I would rather just have the sweet, no bitter.
There's no bitter. You got to try it.
I do like coffee desserts and stuff like tiramisu.
And
So
you
I'll
will
probably like this.
It is the perfect combo, and it's the great if you have a morning flight, and then the cart finally comes by, and it's like a 2-hour thing, and it's still like 8 or 9 a.m. or whatever it is, and then you get.
I've been asleep for 35 minutes.
All right. Well, if you can't sleep, maybe if you're not a little sleepy man that like fits in the corner and makes every flight first class because the seats look so huge to your tiny body. Then maybe you're up when the cart comes by and it's still the morning and you get a coffee.
I can picture this hypothetical scenario.
You can imagine. You can use the power of imagination. And then you get the cookie, dunk it in there, boom, now you're set. You got a little breakfast, got a little bit of cookie in you. And
Now
get
you
the
got a stew
caffeine.
going.
Now you're going. The other move I like to do is raid the airport lounges.
You are a big fan of that. You will literally wrap pastries in napkins.
Yeah, I'll be that guy. And it feels so tacky. And I don't know. I would not approve if I saw other people doing it, even in the same lounge. But whatever, I give myself a pass.
Or act like you've been here before.
Yeah, I know it's not cool. Or I mean, some of it they do want you to do the grab and go, like a little banana and the thing.
Capital One, they have a very nice grab and go selection in their lounges.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, hey, I'm showing you that maybe these little lounges without the grab and go should maybe start them because I'm doing it anyway.
All right. Question from Connor Morris. Are the Olympic team representatives allowed to participate at non-Olympic trials and worlds? If so, could we... I'm not even going to entertain the if so because no. The Olympians are not allowed to compete at non-Olympic
Did you answer the full question, though?
No. Then whatever potentially thing you list after no, we could not see it.
No Olympians.
No Olympians.
Non-Olympic worlds.
Now, you could see people who were at the Olympic trials at certain weights, shift weights, which we will see.
That'll be great.
Yep.
You could also see people that were brought to the Olympics as practice partners. You're allowed to go to the Olympics. I don't know if you call yourself an Olympian, even if you're staying in the Olympic Village and you get to hang
I
out.
don't think so.
Probably not.
I wouldn't call you an Olympian.
I mean,
Nor would I call myself an Olympian?
call yourself one. I mean, if some guy walked in here and said, "Hey, I'm an Olympic rower," because he was an alternate and never actually got on one of the rowboats, well, you'd never look it up.
True.
So that could be an Olympian. I'm not encouraging that behavior. I'm just saying it could happen.
I've been known to lie to some people to impress them. So
I've heard you tell a fib or two.
All right. From our friend, Hello My Enemies, one of my favorite names on Twitter. You said you would discuss my question about Zari's 105-0 run. You didn't. Weak. Here you go, my enemies.
My enemies?
My
That's what you
enemies?
call yourself, my enemies?
Did Zari go on like a 100? Is he talking about a future run, or did Zari didn't do this in the past? Did he?
I don't know what he's talking about. to be
No,
honest.
nobody does.
Maybe
Nobody
he's
understands.
talking about outscoring opponents, 105-0, but I don't.
Well,
Think,
yeah, I think so, but I don't think Zari ever did that recently.
I don't see it.
Yeah, Zari gives up points. He's not definitely not score honorable.
I mean, in a very short amount of time, he might not be the number one Iranian heavyweight even. You got
I'm gonna go
Sumi.
see if I can find what he's talking about.
I would not waste time on Hello, my enemies.
Yeah, he's
All right.
a wild man.
Next question from Virginia is for FRL. Is this CP's burner?
Yes.
I don't know. Do we think Dake posting to social media way more this time around at the games is a sign that he's soaking up the last run? I don't think so. I think, one, I'm not sure if Dake's running his social media completely on his own right now. Two, also, like, the stuff they're doing now, like going early, going to training camp, going to beaches and stuff that the Olympic team is doing right now, they couldn't do in Tokyo. You were pretty much
Right.
locked into your room.
Yeah. If you posted on social, they would quarantine you and be like, what
Correct.
Are you doing?
So it's a little bit different.
Hey, speculation is our trade here. We are talking about what stuff means and trying to interpret.
Speculation, no breathing.
And I don't think you can look too much into a lot of these things. Social media, Dake's a little bit older. He's got kids and stuff, but a lot of these guys are still kids. And, he's having fun. And I wouldn't think it means anything more than just, oh, he started putting stuff on social media and he's having fun and he's doing doing a little slice of life
Social media is not real life.
behind the scenes. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
don't
just,
read too much into it.
I mean, yeah, guys decide that, people post for whatever reason. I did like one post he did where he's in their camp in Normandy. No. He's back in Paris and he's like late for a team picture and he's like filming himself as he goes and he's just walking down the stairs. It's a real short video. And then he gets there and everybody looks at him and they're like, "Oh, thank you for joining us, Mr.
yeah.
Dake." And Spencer's giving him the side eye and
That's the tardy sauce.
yeah, and Coach Zadok is like, "Well, now that we are all here." Oh, is this it?
This is it. Yeah, it'll take about a minute to get to it. But I think I found what Hello My Enemies was talking about.
Oh, you did waste your time on
What's he
that.
talking
Waste
about?
it. He went on a 13-0 run and didn't give up any points.
Okay. Well, like my enemies, I said, Zari is currently the king. Probably my pick. But next question from
All right,
Dr.
well, don't let it be said that it was not discussed. And also, here's Dake about to go. Oh, we get the way. He's finally getting to the running down the stairs.
Going down the staircase.
After all that buildup, we
This
have
is great radio. Or describing Kyle Day walking down
down
the
steps.
spiral staircase.
Yeah.
You don't see as many of those in the U.S. Mostly the European.
I think he is trying to build hype for the Dake doc. I think that is
And here we go.
Spencer's face.
How it zooms in on him and Coach Zadok. There's Mason.
Paris going suns out, guns out.
It is.
Yeah. All right, now you may go to the next question.
From Datrell Kazula, if I'm saying that correctly. If Spencer and Stefan meet, who would you favor and why? Ooh, I don't know. This feels like a toss-up. Spencer Lee is the guy I'm most looking forward to watching next week because there is still so much uncertainty and questions surrounding him because we've only seen him in one senior level tournament overseas, and we've never seen him at a world championship against the top guys at this weight class. We've seen it with the other 5 Olympians. We kind of know where they stack up, at least a slight range. You know, they could perform a little bit above or a little bit below or whatever. With Spencer, there's still so much unknown. I guess maybe I'd favor Spencer if I have to pick. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that is a very good and even matchup.
Yeah, that's one of the more. I mean, that's why 57 is so fascinating. You put Spencer in there, and everybody knows, you know, the potential he has. He's been the, you know, big name and gotten these huge wins and, you know, age level gold medals. But yeah, he hasn't been as active on. You know, he's talked about it. He hasn't had that many matches of the top level guys internationally. He got the job done at the Olympic qualifier at 57. But not every match was a breeze, so it's not like he killed everyone, and it's like he's going to kill everybody in Paris. I like his odds. We talked about his odds earlier. Micic is a guy that you have a lot of data on, and he kind of showed that maybe he was being appreciated or undervalued for his ability to win gold because he then, you know, ran off 2 medals and beat everybody in that crazy bracket in 57 and maybe changed the perception a little bit and now make him more the favorite in that. If you're inclined to think that way, I think it's basically a toss-up, and that's one of the more interesting storylines. So glad this guy brought it up. Thank you, Detrell.
Last one. Not so much of a question, kind of a question, I guess, but bonjour. My wife, Sophia, wants to know if we see any spladles in Paris, should we call it a nutty croissant?
He's being a little funny there, and
That was a good one. That's a good
a
one.
bit of a double entendre there, a croissant.
Is
And Paris, bonjour. You have a spladle.
So I like that. I think we might. Nah, if I wasn't before, now I definitely want to see a spladle in Paris, a nutty
Yeah.
croissant.
They're pretty. They are pretty rare. We do not see them all the time, but perhaps.
Sometimes. All right, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we sign off, I do want to say, Alan Vera was recently. We're gonna play it out. Alan Vera recently went to Cardiac Arrest. There's a GoFundMe out to go help support him and his family. So go do that. Tune in to the watch party. We'll see you FRL normal time next week, and then watch party for 100 hours after that next week. See you then.